Hello everyone, I am Douglas E. Welch and welcome back to another episode of In the Garden for A Gardener's Notebook. Well, we're right here in a break between some rain. It's been raining all day pretty much, and if you've been watching other videos on my channel, you may have seen me in the kitchen actually baking some cookies for our Christmas party. So while some cookies are in the oven, I'm actually out here in the garden showing off a little bit of what's going on here. For more information, you can always visit the website, douglasewelch.com. There you'll find links to A Gardener's Notebook as well as everything else that I do. Well, the first thing I want to show you today is this lovely camellia bush, which is only for the second time in 17 years actually blooming. I walked out the other day and I saw it covered with blooms, and it still has more buds even on it as I look around. It's been here since we moved in. The previous owners planted this bush. I had noticed early, maybe the first or second year we lived here, it had bloomed. And then nothing. It was healthy, it was green, there are a few little dead branches there, but nothing too bad, but it didn't bloom. And I realized finally what I had thought a little bit is it wasn't getting enough water. This year, this is one of the beds that has that new automatic watering system with the soaker hose in it, and I think over the time of this last couple months of getting really steady water in here, that was enough to finally cause it to say, hey, I'm healthy, let's bloom. Now on the website, you may have seen some more up-close pictures of these blooms. They're a little bit easier to view and a little more high quality than the video here, but you can see the lovely blossoms on this camellia, red blossom with the yellow center here. Single flowering, very simple camellia. It's not one of the fancy hybrids with lots of double flowering and huge blousy blooms, but I really enjoyed it. The first time I saw blooms on this, I thought to myself, my God, someone's put a plastic flower on my plant, because it was so striking and so colorful that it didn't even look real when I first looked at it. Now that I know what to do with this camellia, hopefully I'll be able to keep it a little more healthy and have it bloom each and every year. Doing a little reading, it appears that this is the time of year when it's going to bloom here in California. Late November, early December is its normal bloom time, so now I'll note it in my online gardening calendar, which reminds me each year what's happening each year. We have a few other blooms happening here in the garden right now. These are the paperwhites. Again, there are close-up photos of these on the website, on the blog. You can go to douglasewelch.com and click on the Gardener's Notebook link to be taken right to that blog, and then you can search on paperwhites and see pictures from this year and from other year. These were the first ones to bloom. And then here are some newer blooms on the paperwhites. You see even some buds still waiting to open up here. I really do like these. These are the first bulbs to bloom each fall when we start to get our rains, and they always put on a nice show. Soon we should be getting some snowdrops and then finally ending up with the daffodils later in the season. Now, holly really doesn't grow out here in Southern California, but we can get a little Christmas color that kind of emulates the hollyberry a little bit, both in native and non-native ways. This is a non-native. This is an Andina, or what they call heavenly bamboo, at the gardening center. We also have a native plant called the toyon, which also gets red berries about this time of year out in the hillsides, and so that's another excellent substitute for the red hollyberries against the green evergreen leaves that we might see in more temperate climates with the holly. The rain stopped for a little while here, but as you can see from the clouds moving in the background there and the drips still coming from the gutters, that it's not too far off, and I wouldn't guess we're going to get another batch of rain as in a few minutes. I haven't checked the radar yet, but it's certainly looking like that is going to be the case for us today. Today, the nasturtiums are still flowering out here. In fact, they have gone absolute crazy in this pot here. I'll zoom out a little bit from the flower and show you from that one little seedling that had popped up earlier. Finally, with enough rain and enough water, the nasturtiums have totally filled this pot now. Good to see. They were kind of languishing there. Again, I think it's due to the fact that I planted them when the heat was pretty high, and they just really didn't like that very much. I can scroll down a little bit here and we can see the lettuce pot, which is all self-seeded back into some really nice lettuce. Behind that we have the carrots, which are just about ready to pick, and in the background some herbs, and finally at the very end down there the strawberry pot, which is again sending runners down into the soil underneath the pot, and hopefully will actually naturalize some strawberries down here in the ground in this bed. And here you can see where the lavender was planted in its little safety cage there, and it's actually starting to throw off some new growth, both this plant and the plant next to it. So this is a good sign, and I think it's a perfect time of year to get this started. It's going to get a really good chance of rooting with plenty of water, plenty of good soil here in this new ad hoc kind of raised bed we've created here. And here's the other lavender cutting in its own little protective cage, and it's doing very well too. So that's it for this episode of In the Garden from a Gardener's Notebook. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to head back in before the rains come down on our heads, and I think I might actually hear the timer on the oven going off with the batch of cookies that's to be done. Wishing your family the happiest of holidays as we head into this holiday season. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas as they say in Britain, or whatever holiday that you might celebrate. Again, thanks for watching. If you've liked this video, please click like on YouTube. It really helps out. It helps people discover my videos and helps increase their suggestions on other people's videos. Thanks again. Until next time, stay out of the rain, keep warm, and keep digging.